This show has been made possible with the continued support of Partners.io, your global gambling and betting affiliate program. Hello, my friends, and welcome to a cold, wet, depressing day, or as we like to call it here in the Pacific Northwest, fall. And while I would like to bring a little warmth and happiness to your week, that's probably not going to happen with this show. Because if you love the iron-fisted ignorance of the UK Gambling Commission, then you should equally love the direction that the Netherlands is taking with online gambling, as a review of the Dutch Gambling Act has been published. And yes, it's everything you would hope it to be. You may recall that the government and regulators there have taken a somewhat, shall we say, aggressive approach to regulating online gambling. Strict deposit limits, advertising restrictions, a self-exclusion registry, even talk of a complete online slots ban. So, what exactly did this review of the Gambling Act find? Well, for starters, they say that deposit limits do not work as a protective measure for players. And they say that the advertising restrictions currently in place, which prohibit gambling ads on television, radio, newspapers, billboards, and most websites, might not be enough. They also found that the self-exclusion scheme was only partially sufficient, and just to cover all their bases and their butts, they added that match-fixing measures need to be improved, and that there's a need for operators to perform duty of care efforts. Read into that what you will. In fact, the only thing that the review found as a positive was the protection of player data. Well, that and the higher tax rates. So, as we head toward 2025, look for the Netherlands to make further changes to their laws and regulations to tighten that iron-fisted grip that is until the industry passes out and is slowly strangled to death. And yes, there's even talk of reintroducing that total ban for online slots, or as I like to call it, just another nail in the coffin. Welcome back. Before we begin, I just wanted to mention that the wind seems to be picking up a little bit, so hopefully we get through this half of the program without incident. And before we return to the tragedy that is the Dutch market, we would like to tell you about a new affiliate program interview and a special offer for the Ronin Quest of Honor online slot from our friends at Every Game. Now through the end of the year, your players can get a 150% deposit bonus for up to $5,000 and 50 free spins on the Ronin game. If you'd like to promote this offer on your sites, visit affiliate.everygame.eu for details and creatives. Also, we just released our latest APCW interview. This time, we speak with the amazing Julia, head of affiliates for Boomerang Partners. Discussion includes the reasons webmasters should be working with them, including their properties and geos, and their successful approach to the sports betting market. You can find that interview on the APCW website and YouTube channel, as well as the forums at GPWA. Lastly, we began this show in the Netherlands, so we might as well end it in the Netherlands as well, with yet another story showing that perhaps, just perhaps, the Dutch government ain't nearly as clever as we've been giving them credit for being, as three operators found themselves in trouble yet again by the never-ending and ever-tightening Dutch Iron Fist gaming regulations. This time, the trouble went down at live events in Holland, where promotional materials contained an operator's name in one case. Oh my. In another case, there was an operator's logo on a t-shirt. Egad! And in the third incident, there was branding for an operator outside of the match. Yeah. All high crimes against the state for sure. I mean, logos and a company name? How can those with a gambling problem possibly resist logos and a name? And what chance do children have? They see a logo on something, they're just gonna grow up to be an addict, right? Right? Is it any wonder Flutter already abandoned this market? Is it any surprise that Live Score just made the decision to get the hell out? And would it be so shocking to see more and more and more operators head right out the door, which, by the way, is where I'm headed, out the door. I got poker tonight. I'll play, I just never win. Such is my life. But, barring tragedy, I'll come back next week and do it again. You know, God willing. And just to cover all the bases and their butts, they added that match fixing.